Welcome to the Personal Finance Podcast for Doctors with Meena Shriram and Chanda Verma. This podcast aims to simplify all aspects of personal finance and help you make smart and informed choices about money so that you can live happier and stress-free lives. Today's episode is brought to you by Meena Shriram, who is a financial coach and heads the doctor practice at MFA, the only company in India having a dedicated practice for doctors, helping them plan and achieve their financial goals. Established in 2005, MFA is recognized as the most trusted and respected firm in the industry and has built this reputation by always putting their clients' best interest above everything and taking care of their money the way they would do it for their parents or best friends. Meena Shriram has interacted with more than 3,000 doctors and understands the finer nuances of a doctor's financial life. Do listen to this episode with Meena Shriram.
Hi, I'm Meena Shriram, financial coach and head of doctor practice at MFA. Let me welcome you to the first episode of the podcast series, the Personal Finance Podcast for Doctors. Today's podcast is on why doctors should start planning early on in their career, where I'll be sharing how their life cycle is so different from all the other professionals. As a result, they cannot afford to delay. Before we deep dive into the topic, let me tell you why we felt we should do this podcast. After me having met more than 3,000 doctors in the last 13 years, I would say I've grown with this community. Although I'm not a doctor, I've become a part of your lives. I've been through your journey, understood your happiness, your passion, your challenges, what makes you tick and what ticks you off, and we have evolved. Today we proudly share that we have helped more than 300 doctor families. But 16 years back, we never thought we would have doctors as our clients. So let me share with you how the doctor practice at MFA started. In the year 2009, our founder Amar Pandit wrote the book Financial Planning for Doctors, which was published by CNBC and sold a record 75,000 copies all over India. I was really curious to seek feedback from doctors, and that's when I went about meeting them in their hospitals and clinics. During these meetings, one common question that most of the doctors asked me was, why is a book written for us? Am I from Mars? How is financial planning so different for us? That is because your financial life cycle and challenges you face are very unique compared to all the other professionals, on which I'll be speaking in detail today. In all these meetings, two main observations that really stood out for me I'm going to share with you. The first observation. Although doctors come from the most intelligent segment of the society, but when it comes to their personal finance, their approach is very random and ad hoc. 90% of the doctors fall in this category. I must admit that I have also met doctors who are extremely savvy when it comes to personal finance, but they are more an exception than a rule. My second observation. Despite having high incomes, there is always this stress and uncertainty around money. Even if they have someone to manage their money, questions like, am I doing okay? Are my investments in the right avenues? Will my money last? Always come up in the conversations. Over the last 13 years, it's been an enriching experience meeting more than 3,000 doctors and getting to know their lives so closely. I would say that I'm getting deeply connected with the fraternity. So we at MFA sincerely wanted to do a bit in helping each and every doctor lead a happier life without any financial worries. And that's when we started consciously working in the area of financial literacy for doctors with various associations and hospitals, and have added value to the lives of more than 10,000 doctors. So 3 years back, in IOA, that's the Indian Orthopedic Association, appointed us as their financial literacy partners. And this strong desire to help doctors lead a stress-free life, I would say a stress-free and happier financial life, led to this podcast series. where I will be sharing my learnings and discussion, and I sincerely hope this helps you start thinking. In today's podcast, let me share the top 5 reasons as to why you as a doctor should seriously start saving, planning, and investing early on in your career. The first reason, your career starts very late. So, as a doctor, you typically complete your degree and your super specialization only by the age of 35. And the earning cycle begins later than any other profession. Since you've already missed 10 years of your investing period, you need to start investing as early as possible. Even if your earnings are delayed, your life goals are not. Most of the times, doctors at the start of their career feel that starting a small SIP of Rs 5,000 is too small an amount to invest. Actually, most of the doctors have often told me, Meena, I think I'll start it later. 5,000 is too small an amount. Why? It doesn't really make sense. Most of the times, doctors at the start of their career feel that starting a small SIP of say Rs 5,000 is too small an amount to invest. And they've often told me that, Meena, I will start it later when I can invest more. Because somewhere they feel Rs 5,000 is a very small amount to invest. And how is it going to add to the corpus? Or how is it really going to help them build a significant corpus as such? Actually, by the time they feel they are ready, they are already in their 40s. The cost of this delay can run into crores by the time they are 65. Let me explain to you with an example. So let's assume a doctor invests Rs 5,000 every month for 30 years. Assume that he starts at the age of 35 and from 35 to 65, he keeps investing this amount of 5,000. Can you make a guess as to what is the corpus that he will be able to build? Okay, let me share the number with you. He will build a corpus of 1 crore 75 lakhs. Unbelievable. Actually, most of the doctors have told me whenever in the meetings I've shared with them that this is the corpus that you will build. And they've told me, how come? How come this can happen? Well, that's the power of compounding, which is also known as the 8th wonder of the world. As we often say, that it is the little drops of water that makes the ocean. Actually, it's not really about the SIP of 5,000 or 10,000. It's all about inculcating a discipline of saving and investing early in life. So what should you do? Start an SIP. Take the first step. Even a small amount invested regularly will build you a significant corpus over time. I think that's what we do with our health also, Exercising every day is very, very important. So SIP is also just like, you start an SIP every month. So it is similar to that, taking care of your health and wealth. It always goes in parallel. Well, coming to the second reason, finance is not taught in medical schools. As a doctor, you spend 10 to 15 years of your life in studying medicine, and this somehow disconnects you from the world of finance. Unfortunately, it is not a subject that is taught in medical schools. Forget about medical schools, it's not taught and it's not there in the curriculum at all for any one of us. So, especially for doctors, since this is not taught in the medical school, there's a lack of interest and understanding. As a result, when you start earning, investing or planning for your goals is not at all a priority. Often when I reach out to doctors for a meeting, the response is, Meena, I don't have time, or I can only spare 10 to 15 minutes. And I've often wondered, how can something so in-depth like one's personal finance can be explained in just 15 minutes? Yeah, actually one of the biggest drawbacks of this lack of interest and understanding is that investment decisions are taken in an ad hoc fashion, which leaves doctors with a plethora of products which are not right for them. And most of the doctors have burned their fingers badly because of this. So what should you do? Get a financial coach. Actually, we are specialists who will help you plan your financial life and help you achieve your financial goals. Just like how you are a specialist, we too are specialists managing personal finance for doctors. In the last 13 years, I have only met doctors and I have a team who only meets doctors because we want to understand what are the pain points, challenges that you face and how best we can help you with the same. Where we take care of your money just like the way we take care of our parents or our best friends' money. It is very important to find the right financial coach early in your life. The third reason, lack of time. You spend close to 12 to 16 hours at work in the first 10 years of your career, the focus being on learning and skill development. This is the most hectic phase of your life where you are settling both at a professional and a personal level. With so many hours at work, you hardly get time with family. So, thinking about personal finance does not even feature as a priority. Also, 90% of the doctors marry another doctor, and both of them have a very hectic and a busy schedule. Unlike other families where either the husband or the wife takes an active role in managing the family finances, here no one has the time. One of the reasons why I feel doctors don't prioritize also because they believe that they can catch up later when things settle. So, what should you do? So, what's the solution? Please do not wait for a rosy tomorrow. As they say, tomorrow never arrives. Just start now. Now, let's go to the fourth reason. Most of the doctors have told me that I'm a glorified daily wage earner. Because their incomes are completely dependent on the number of working hours. In fact, one of my doctor clients had to stop his SIP as he was planning to be away for 3 months. Another doctor client of mine, when I was planning for her vacation goal, she said, Meena, I can't go for such long vacation. That has a huge EMI to pay. So a thought that a doctor lives with is, I have to work. I don't have a choice to take breaks. If I have to maintain my lifestyle, this creates pressure and doesn't give a doctor peace of mind. So what does one do? The only solution to this is to have a financial roadmap that plans and invests for your goals and gives purpose to your investment. Is basically trying to understand the why of your investment. Why are you investing money today? With this, you will have the confidence and you will have enough money when you need it. This creates options and choices which you never thought you had in your life before. Now we come to the last reason, which is the most important one. No forced savings or planning for retirement. If you see a corporate executive, he has forced savings like EPF, VPF, gratuity, superannuation, leading to a good retirement kitty. Usually doctors don't have these options. As a result, they will have to create their own retirement corpus. But they feel that they will keep on working as long as their body allows. So what is the need? And this, in all my meetings, this thought has come across from most of the doctors that Meena, I will never stop working. I will keep working as long as my body allows. Also, they don't have an idea how much is enough. So most doctors work out of compulsion rather than by choice till late in their life. And most of the doctors have asked me, is there a solution? And I've told, of course there is a solution. All you have to do is find the right financial coach. You have to calculate your retirement corpus based on the monthly expenses that you will be spending today if you're going to take the retirement. Now, one very important thing that you need to keep in mind is the inflation, so that your money outlasts your lifetime. Now, there is a detailed process best done with an expert. Just like how you are a specialist, you also need a specialist to manage the finances. It is very important to get this asset test done whether you're going to take your retirement or not. You should work because you're passionate about it and not out of compulsion. As you can see, that a doctor's life cycle is unique and so are the challenges. But you can also see that there are solutions to these challenges and they are not at all complicated. The most important part is realizing the need, taking help from the right expert and starting now. I just want to reiterate once again, the most important part is realizing the need, taking help from the right expert and starting now. One sincere request to you is, when it comes to your personal finance, please do not self-medicate. Just like you tell your patients not to self-medicate, it is important to follow the same advice when it comes to your finances, because it is detrimental to your financial health. Your hard-earned money should work better for you, and managing that need not be stressful. If you think you need some more perspective on this, please do not hesitate to get on a call with us. We would love to have a chat with you. Our contact details are shared at the end of this episode. Stay tuned for our next episode where my colleague Chanda Verma shares with you the most common costly mistakes that a doctor can easily avoid. So take care and see you there.
You were listening to the Personal Finance Podcast for Doctors with Meena Shriram. If you find this podcast relevant and interesting, do share it with other doctors as well. It will be great if you leave a review, share, like, and subscribe. You could also let us know if there is any specific topic that you would like us to cover. For any queries or help, you can get in touch with MFA's Doctor Practice team at 959 40 62 326. That's 9594 06 2326.